Yo, what's good, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to another Tyler Perry Sisters review. This is season 5, episode 8, entitled Push to the Limit. If this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning family member, you already know what it is and what it always will be. So, we're going to get into it. I'm going to start with Zach and Fatima. Being completely honest, this scene felt weird as hell to me. In true Tyler Perry form, Zach continued to say multiple times that he wanted Fatima to be comfortable. And to me, she didn't show any signs that she was uncomfortable. So I didn't understand this scene. Don't have much to say about it other than, Zach asked her if she wanted to talk about the whole Karen situation. She did not. He wanted to talk. She was trying to get away. I don't know. Their dynamic just seemed really, I don't know a word I wanted, distant. They just seemed like distant in this scene. So it was interesting. And so basically he said he wanted to take her out because he had something to ask her. Next, Danni and Jonah. Now this scene, honestly, before the episode came on, there should have been a trigger warning on this episode as well, because there was continued abuse that happened. I honestly believe that this scene should have been placed like midway in the episode, because everything that happened after this was like blah. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, this episode was weird. It just felt like it was rushed, in my opinion. It felt like a lot was going on, but not much happened, which, seems to be the ongoing theme, of Sisters. So in addition to Danni being hit by Jonah, he spit in her face, which I deem as one of the most disrespectful and nastiest things that you can do to an individual. And so Danni tries to get a weapon. She tries to get away, get a weapon, but Jonah pulls her to the ground, and he continues to hit her. And I don't know if he tried to choke her. It was a lot going on in this scene. And so when he got away, or when they got outside, Danni grabbed, I don't know if that was a pipe or a bat of some sort, and she beats him with it, which he so rightfully deserved. And she busts out his car windows, and then she gets in her car and crashes into his. Now I'm gonna pause for a second. Now there was some of y'all who were, recommending that I listen to a particular reviewer. I'm not gonna say nobody's name. And some of y'all was trying to be messy. But one thing about me, I would never badmouth or downplay another YouTuber or reviewer, because everyone is entitled to their own opinion, and I respect everyone's perspective. However, let me say, I do not agree with anything that he stated concerning Danni, and I mean that in all bold and all caps. So it is very easy to say that someone went too far when you yourself haven't, one, been called a bitch, hit in your face, and spat upon. And so it's interesting because I read some comments. I don't forget people's names. I don't forget their handles. So I find it interesting that some of the same people who stated that Danni went too far are some of the same people who has applauded Fatima in a lot of the things that she does. And I just found it interesting because, in my personal opinion, Fatima has not been disrespected in the same manner the way that Danni has. But Danni went too far. Fatima gets applauded. I just find that dynamic very, very, very interesting. Also, this thing with Danni, I feel like a lot of times, and this is a heavy topic, and I think a lot of times too is that we say what we would do if I was ever in that situation. This is what I would do. If this happened to me, this is what I would do. And the truth of the matter is, we don't know what we will do when we get placed in certain predicaments. We don't know if we're going to run. We don't know if we're going to fight. We don't know if we're going to go into ourselves and be a secluse. We don't know how initially we are going to respond when we are triggered emotionally. We don't know until you're in that moment. And so what I saw with Danni is, this is someone who was truly operating in rage. It was an act of rage. When you think about the assault that she just endured, I've never been any of these things. None of these things have ever happened to me in sequence. I don't know what I would do if that were to happen to me. Like I said, spitting, oh God, that is the most disrespectful thing you could do. If I had a gun in my house and someone spit in my face, I would love to think that I wouldn't shoot them. But I don't know what I would do. I don't know how being triggered in that way would affect me and my actions. I don't know. So I don't believe that Danni went too far. I believe that we were really seeing someone who was outside her mind. That is why Snapped is a real thing. It is a real show. Those things happen. So I'm really interested to see how Tyler Perry plays this whole dynamic with Danni. I have a lot of questions though. I got a lot of questions about this part, but we will get into that a little later. Danni believes that she's killed Jonah, which we're going to get into later too, because I'm like, how? Okay, but we're going to get into that. So Andi and Gary, after a night of passion, you know what I'm saying, she done got the penis from him. She wants him to leave her house as she's leaving her house. And he continues to throw up in her face that he is the person who purchased this penthouse for her. And I'm like, what? I can't stand them. I really can't. I can't stand Andi and Gary. They really make no sense to me. And I know I got a lot of messages and questions on this particular episode. And so I do understand that Tyler is showing different dynamics, a group of women. And you can have all the intellect. You can have all the book smarts and still be unbalanced in your personal life. And I completely get that. I understand. But because of the way the show is written, it doesn't make sense for Andi to do some of the things that she does. Unfortunately, because we really don't have any background or we don't have any knowledge. Now, in this particular episode too, a reference to Andi's mom was brought up when I think Karen was like, don't your mama get on your nerves too? And there have been references to Andi's mom before, but we don't know anything. We don't know how she was raised. We don't know any of those things. So it's like, why does she respond like this? Why does she choose the type of men that she chooses? Why is she attracted to abusers and men who treat her foul? Why is she attracted to them? We don't know. But I'm going to tell y'all something. Andi, when I get that little country twang in my throat, Andi, baby, she floored me when she told Gary that he was exhibiting attributes of growth. I said, where? In what world, Andi? In what world? I said, no, this heifer didn't. Anyway, Gary goes take a shower. She goes through his jacket and goes through paper by paper of the letter or the letters that was in his jacket pocket. I thought Andi went through this last night, but obviously she didn't. I don't know. I ain't even finna come at Tyler for that. Y'all know what it is. It is what it is, and that's just what it's gonna always be. However, we gonna move right on along. So we see Miss Lisa. We gonna do with Miss Lisa carrying them. Karen calls Andi in the bathroom like she's sneaking off like she's a kid because basically she's saying that her mom is running her ragged. Her mom won't let her do nothing. Her mom is driving her crazy. And Andi was like, is she really that bad? Let me say this, y'all, because Tyler Perry is not finna play with our intelligence. We are intelligent beings and he ain't gonna do this to us. I'm trying to understand, why is Karen acting as if her mom has been around for days? It's been one day. It's been one damn day. I know we done had about 6 episodes, but from the time that Miss Lisa showed up at that hospital until now, it's been one full whole day, and they're like in the middle of the second day. She ain't been around that long. You just got put on bed rest, and you're already at the salon. Even though she was only there for a hot second, she was still there. So I'm like, what was the purpose of having Miss Lisa here showing all this authoritative action or whatever she was doing, only to like it just didn't make sense. It just didn't make sense. But it's only been one day. So basically, Karen wants to see everybody. She still is unaware that Sabrina has been arrested. She feels like Danni may be still mad at her, whatever, because Andi can't get in touch with Danni, so on and so forth. They get to the salon. Long story short, at the salon, Miss Lisa gets a phone call. She goes to the back. She comes out, lets Karen know that she has to go to the VA. Because for those who don't know, Miss Lisa is a retired Marine. And she was like, I called the accountant. You know, he's going to be looking after you. I like him. I said, hold the hell up. Because, see, I was going to get inside Miss Lisa ass. One, I hate the fact that she calls him the accountant. You don't call Zach STD spreader. You don't do that to him. You call him Zach or Zachary. Have the same respect for Aaron. His name is Aaron. Call him Aaron. If you don't like Aaron, call him Mr. Carter. I don't give a damn, but stop calling him the accountant. If I call you something else, I don't know what I would call her, but I'm just saying. But she tells, I'm like, how you go from, and I was going to do a whole video on this, but since it wasn't really that much that happened in Sisters Hour, I'm going to talk about it here. How does Miss Lisa go from, it's something about him. It's almost like he's too good to be true. I wonder what he's hiding. To, I like him. And I don't even have an issue with Miss Lisa saying that she feel like Aaron may be hiding something or he's too good to be true. But in what ways does he exhibit those things to you? Is it because he still wants to be a part of your daughter's life after all of this drama has taken place? Like those are the type of conversations I would have liked to hear Miss Lisa and Karen have. Like, why do you feel that way, Mom? I've been feeling that way too, but what do you see? Maybe we seeing the same thing. And then before they get to the salon, they're at the table, and basically Karen is still on this trip of, I know it's Zach's baby. I know I did the math. There is no way. You slept with these men 2 days apart, sis. There is no way you know who fathered your child. You don't. You just don't. And I'm just getting tired of this being a part of Karen's dialogue in the show because she doesn't know. And it's just tiresome at this moment. Like, I don't even really care who fathered the child. Let me not go there. I was going to say so, but anyway, I'm going to leave that alone. It just doesn't make any sense. So Miss Lisa now is going away. I said, oh, she gone now? Okay, anyway. Then, what's her name? We see Pam. She, we see Pam. Pam is pamming. Andi takes Karen back home, which I'm glad. She didn't allow Karen to stay there. They're both on like, nah, you're not staying here. And I respected that. I really did. So we get to Hayden and Robin. You'll find out why I'm breathing hard. Robin, okay. Is Robin looking good to y'all? Or is it just me? I've never looked at dude this way. I said, Robin looks good. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's the hair that's doing it for me because he's looking a little different with that curly top. I don't know, but he's doing it for me right now. And I never thought I would say that. He ain't doing it for me a whole lot. Let's not go there. Just a tad. It's enough to catch my attention, but he doing something. Robin tells Hayden that he knows that he's the one who sent the email to him. Then Robin says, I got connections. I got peoples in the CIA. I said, the CIA? So you just bypassed your whole IT department. I'm like, to track an IP address, it ain't hard. So now you flex it by, I said, Tyler, the CIA really? Okay, I'm gonna let you have that. So basically Hayden like, okay, well damn it, shit, I did it. I sent you the email. I figured you should know. And so he tells Hayden that, Andi could sue if this is not true. And he says, oh, it's true. I know it's true. Like, it happened. It just don't make no sense. He told Hayden that he got 3 strikes, one more thing, then he's fired. I said, no, fire him now. On the 3rd strike, the inning is over. You don't get a 4th one. Why is Hayden still there? Then Hayden is cocky because he's bringing in 34% of the revenue at the law firm, which is a huge number for one person. That's a lot for one person. And they have a large law firm. So I'm like, he is, needed. He is valuable to the company. But, Robin lets him know, like, everything doesn't hold value forever. But Hayden is just so cocky with it. And I'm thinking, you don't have a reason to be cocky. I could see if there were women throwing themselves at him. I could see if he was the person that, people esteemed or looked up to. He has none of those things. He makes me think that he has a Napoleon complex, small man complex. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, I don't get it. But that CIA thing made me laugh because I'm like, really, you went all the way there. So, Andi, Danni, and Fatima, so Danni shows up to the law firm. Danni is dressed like she's going to work. She has on her sunglasses and she's definitely emotional, crying. So the lady, the receptionist, is well aware that this is a dire situation. So she lets her know that Andi isn't there, but she asks for Danni asked for Fatima. And so Fatima is like, well, did she ask for me? And the lady said, no. I said, what you mean? No, she did. God, Lord. Anyway, so Fatima was like, okay. And I don't blame Fatima. I saw a lot of people were saying, like, Fatima just should have upped and went. First of all, I just had this situation with your best friend the other night. I don't know what's going on. I don't blame Fatima for being a little apprehensive. So she goes out there and she clearly sees Danni's demeanor. And she, takes her to Andi's office. And so I really do enjoy seeing Fatima in this light because you can tell that she does have a good heart and she has such compassion for people. And I love seeing that side of her. And so she ends up calling Andi, and Andi is actually on the way to her office. And so she lets her know that Danni is in there and it's not looking good. So when Andi goes in and she sees Danni's demeanor, she's thinking that Danni is acting this way because of the situation with Sabrina. And she was like, Danni, it's okay. We're going to be able to see her at 5. And she was like, no, I need my own lawyer. And, Andi's like, why? She basically, I killed somebody. And I was like, what the hell? So, okay, boom. 1, I'm like, what makes Danni think she actually killed Jonah? 2, were the police called? 3, I know you got nosy ass neighbors. No one peeked out. No one came out. Like, you rammed your car into somebody. How are you here? Did you get an Uber, a Lyft? I got questions. I'm trying to understand. And right now, my understanding ain't understanding. I need some escape right now. I don't understand what's going on. So we get to, then we see Andi and Robin. I'm here for the energy that Andi is giving Robin. I really am. Now, some people have their own opinions about this entire situation when it comes to Andi and Robin. And, all like I said before, Andi's a hoe, Andi's this, Andi's that. What Andi does in her bedroom, it's her business. Now, where Andi was wrong at was mixing business with pleasure. She should have never slept with her boss. Robin should have never had sex with a subordinate, and you definitely should not have had a threesome with this person. That's just my opinion. Now, does Andi owe Robin? And I think that's the thing. I think because some people have like such a disdain for Andi, she get on everybody's nerves. That's just what it is. But right is right, wrong is wrong. Andi does not owe Robin an explanation for who she has sex with. It's none of her business if she had sex with Robin. With Paris. Now, if you want to deal with, we're not supposed to have, interpersonal relations here at the law firm. Well, you've broken your own law, or you've broken your own rule, so you can't play that game. So I'm trying to understand where Tyler was going with that, because to me, it's not that big of a deal that Andi had sex with Paris, because it's nobody's business. It didn't happen in the workplace. It wasn't on work time. So I'm not understanding like why I don't get it. But I love the way she kept that energy with Robin. Now, if we could only keep that same energy with Gary, because I don't get it. I just don't. When she said that man was growing, you showing growth. If my shoe could have went through the TV and knocked her upside her damn head, I said, Andi, Tyler, you just refuse to let these women show any type of wisdom in their personal life. You just refuse. I think I was so happy I didn't see Calvin. I was so happy I didn't see Elemental P. The rest. I'm glad we didn't see him. I'm gonna get y'all a review for the end of credits preview after this video, so it'll be coming out today or tomorrow, but you'll get it. And that's all I really have to say. This is probably the shortest review I've done in a while. Speaking of that, I'm curious, do you guys enjoy long reviews or shorter reviews? And the reason why I'm asking is because I've noticed that my trailer breakdowns get way more views than my review of the actual episode. So I'm just curious, not that I'm changing anything, I'm just curious your thoughts. Like, which do you prefer? Like I said, doesn't mean I'm changing anything. I'm just curious to know. What do you like? The quick ones? Do you like more in-depth reviews or whatever? So I'm just interested in how you guys feel about that. But until next time, I will holler at y'all later. Y'all be safe out there. 1.